Precision International is proud to have been named a GM Supplier of the Year for 3 consecutive years by General Motors. Precision is in the bag.
Hi, I'm John Salazzo, Vice President of Sales for Precision International. For over 40 years, Precision International has been providing transmission shops around the world the best sourced, most complete transmission kits available. We make every effort to provide transmission rebuilders with key information, including installation tips and product updates to make rebuilds with our kits more efficient and easier. Our website features an ever-increasing library of video seminars featuring industry expert John Palmer. John has made presentations at trade shows and taught classes on transmission rebuilds around the world. John also runs his own very successful transmission shop in Center Reach, Long Island. We've asked him to talk about some of the day-to-day business strategies he employs to manage the shop and share some of his experiences from providing seminars around the world. We hope that after watching John's videos, they benefit you and your shop. Thank you.
What you got, Ed?
All right, I checked out your Chevy truck that got brought in last night. It's definitely got no third gear.
Okay.
On the road test, second gear completely lost on third. Absolutely nothing there.
Okay.
The scanner does have a few codes, nothing very significant. He does have a lot of engine stuff in there also, though. I got a worksheet started for you, and I'm going to give him a call because he's got some damage on the vehicle.
Okay.
Particularly on the driver's side over here, this is very fresh. He's got the step bumper and the
Okay, good.
body's hit.
Touch base with him, deal with that, and then we'll hand it off to Mark.
Okay, very good.
All right, cool. Thanks, Ed.
All right. Hi, Mark. This car was towed in last night. I just checked it out. It has no third gear. It goes first, second, and then neutral.
Okay.
Got a couple of codes in here. I got a worksheet started for you.
You have to address all the engine codes as well?
Let me know what you need.
Okay.
If we need to, I'll send it out to one of the other shops, but let me know what we need to do on that.
All right.
You definitely have a tranny issue.
Okay. No problem. First process when pulling the car in, open up every hood and disconnect the battery for safety. You don't spike the computer. If you catch a wire, you can avoid any kind of fire. It's the very first thing you want to do. All right, well, once the truck is up in the air, the first thing we do is we look around, make sure there's no other surprises, that if we find anything, we can notify the customer, and if we have to repair it, we can repair it. This particular vehicle's got a severe engine oil leak, which the customer will be notified about. Once we know that everything's been checked out, we start pulling the trans. Drive shafts come out, then we disassemble the cross member, and then the torque converter. Everything gets done step by step. Do it the same way every time. You can never make a mistake. Once you pull the drive shaft out, check U-joints. Make sure that they're good. Because if any of them are bad, they have to be replaced during the process. Trying to pull the front drive shaft out. There's a lot of rust in this vehicle. Using a chisel just in between the yoke and the drive shaft itself, just to make it a little easier to move out. Once the drive shafts are out, start removing the cross member. It's going to come down a little bit. These are some of the things that can happen. The mount is now broken because the bolt was so rusted it just snapped off. So when you're doing the job, you got to be prepared for extra expenses. This particular vehicle has the exhaust that crosses underneath the transmission, so the exhaust system has to come out as well. When removing the exhaust, you got to make sure that all your O2 sensors are unplugged, so you don't snap any of the wires or any of the sensors. When you know you got a disconnected exhaust system, always try to take a preemptive strike and put rust buster down. This way you have a better chance of it coming off without breaking. This is the other half of the mount that broke as I was taking the bolt out before. When disassembling some of these, this particular one has an easy release on the neutral safety switch. But on the earlier General Motors, the plugs are actually glued in. So you have to use a heat gun to heat up the glue, to soften it, to remove the plug. And usually you have to do the same thing going back in. Always inspect the connections for the cable to make sure that it's not brittle or broken, because if you go back in and they're not right, the linkage will never be adjusted properly. As you're disconnecting things, make sure that all your wire connections, your harnesses, there's wire looms all over the place by the transfer case. Make sure that all of the brackets are off, because if you come down and they're not, you're going to rip wires out. When pulling the trans out, always try to separate the transfer case off the transmission for safety reasons. By having it on the jack, it can be very, very lopsided on the jack and can fall off. And when you need to, always get a hand when trying to pull something out heavy.